So MNB World is here at Hollywood in Mongolia, and I'm joined by Miss Cece DeStefano, a production designer for Happy Death Day and many more films. So welcome to Mongolia.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. It's an amazing country.
How long have you been in Mongolia for so far?
Probably 24 hours.
24 hours, okay.
Yeah, we got in yesterday.
So what kind of experiences do you want to see in Mongolia?
Oh, I'd love to see the country. I'm actually looking forward to going to the countryside and visiting, the local people and seeing how people live here and the culture. Yeah.
That's amazing. And so tell us, how did you find about maybe Hollywood in Mongolia, and how did you get involved in being in this event, basically?
My fiance is David Petrarca, who is the director. You guys are interviewing him as well. And they were looking for a production designer, and so I was lucky enough to be able to come and be here for this conference. So yeah, that's how it happened. Yeah.
So tell us, have you seen any Mongolian films when you?
I haven't actually. I don't think I have.
Maybe have you seen Marco Polo or any?
Yes, yeah, Marco Polo. But yes, Marco Polo. Yeah. Crazy Rich Asians. The ones that are being presented here, or the people who are here, I know the films that they've worked on. Yeah.
And what do you think about in terms of production design for seeing a historical film piece about Mongolia and looking at it and thinking. Maybe thinking for a production designer, what can you do with those kind of things?
Well, I think for production design, for anybody who's designing any type of film, particularly for something that's set in Mongolia, you'd have to start with the research.
Okay.
So you need to know you need to kind of delve into the history.
Yes.
And what's the history, the culture, so that you can start from there and then create the world that you're trying to portray in a TV show or a movie. So I think that would be, for me, research is the most important thing, because this is my first time in Mongolia, but it doesn't mean I couldn't design if I was working on a film or a TV show that was set in Mongolia. You just start with the research. That's kind of how you would go about designing something. Yeah.
And maybe if you want to say you want to work on a Mongolian film about Mongolia, basically.
Yes.
What kind of film that you maybe want to work on as a production designer?
I do love history. I love watching what happened in the past and how we can learn from it, but also just the culture. To me, it's important to see how people live and what would have happened back in history. So I kind of would love to work on something that's more period.
Period?
Yeah.
Maybe like Genghis Khan?
Yeah, exactly, of course.
Do you think maybe Hollywood, do you know any Hollywood productions working on Genghis Khan, or were they thinking about it?
I don't know of any in particular, but I think that would be, first of all, it's just an amazing time in the world's history, and I think it would be something that would be really interesting to do and to produce. And I actually think that people in the U.S. would be, and all over the world would be interested in that.
Why do you think that Hollywood hasn't touched on Genghis Khan maybe?
What they haven't touched
on Genghis Khan? Why haven't they
Why haven't they? That's a good question. I wonder. I'm not sure why they haven't. Usually, I think for Hollywood, it's pretty much about how they're to make the money back. There's not as many art films being made right now. It's really about making money, and it's about how do we sell this on a world stage. And maybe for some reason they don't feel that the entire world would be interested because people already know the story, maybe. But I think it's important to have movies and TV shows that kind of show the world and in America in general, the history of different cultures, because Americans are very kind of boxed into their own thinking, and they're not as open. They're starting to become a little bit more open, I think, with things like Netflix, and there's Masterpiece Theater, which does a lot of BBC and English TV that comes to the U.S. So Netflix and Amazon kind of opening up that door so that they can bring in more films that are being made in different countries. So I feel like that people would be more interested and be interested in seeing that.
Now, shifting back into your own profession, production design, can you maybe maybe give it like an example of what does a production designer do?
So I'm in charge of the look of the film. So everything that is on the other side of the camera is my world. So I oversee numerous departments. I collaborate with the director and the DP or the DOP, the cinematographer, director of photography, as well as the writer. And what is broken down we break down the script, and what's in the script is what we're trying to convey in our work. So my department, what I do is I oversee, I come up with the creative vision of what the show is gonna, what the movie's gonna be, and then I delegate that. The visual look, exactly. I delegate that to everyone in my department. So I have the art department, I have construction who is going to build the set. I have, in the art department, I have set designers who are drawing it up. So what I do is I start with research. I pull grabs from magazines or online research of what I'm looking to design, what the vision is going to be. And then from there, I come up with a little chicken scratch of like my sets. And then so we have people who are doing the construction, I have people who are doing the painting and plastering work, and then I have a set decorating department that does all the set dressing, like all the interior design, and I also have prop department who does all the hand props. And then I'm also in charge of locations, so anything, again, if we found a location that was perfect for the movie, then I would be in charge of making sure that it visually was correct for the movie.
Have you seen any locations when you were coming to Mongolia? Maybe you were looking outside of your airplane and thinking, oh, that would be a perfect location for this.
Yes, well, actually flying over just the desert and the terrain, it feels, I mean, it's just amazing. It's so vast, and I feel like you could definitely do, I just see horses riding. I mean, yeah, there's some beauty. It's just the natural beauty here is amazing.
So my last question.
Yes.
What kind of experience do you want to see? And moving back. How can Mongolian filmmakers basically get into Hollywood? What should they do to break into the Hollywood system?
Do you mean like movies or just individual people?
Like movies, script, in general, like actors, directors, maybe screenwriters.
Yeah.
Also production designers, maybe.
I feel like it's. We talked about this in our panel. It's pretty much like any industry. It's who you know, right? So I think one of the big things, depending on where you are in your career, like how old, are you still in college? Are you in university? Are you younger in high school? I think it's about meeting people. So obviously, Facebook is a huge part of our world now, and if you can't get to America, keep befriending people on Facebook, trying to network and find people who are already in the industry, so that you can either learn from them, or say if you're able to come to America, then it's networking and finding the right people who could help you break in. And to me, for my personal story is, I went to my college was a arts college that basically taught film, but it also had set design for theater. But from there, I was able to break into the business because my teacher was an art director in TV. So if you're going to school, if you're going to sign up for something like AFI has a great art production design program. There's different schools that you can go to if you're a young filmmaker wanting to still study university. That's what I would say.
I think Marco Polo actually opened that door, maybe
absolutely.
Like the Mongolian actors getting to know Hollywood people, and then opening that door here, and that's why you're probably here also, maybe.
Yes,
right?
That's true. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Thank you for your time,
Thank you
and
too.
enjoy your stay. And I hope
you
find inspiration in Mongolia.
Oh, I will. I
films.
definitely will. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.